The sun blazed high over Willow Creek, casting a golden glow across the cobblestone streets of the small town. The air thrummed with life. Vendors shouted about ripe tomatoes, juicy peaches, and handmade scarves, while kids giggled, darting between market stalls with sticky fingers from free candy samples. Neighbors swapped stories over steaming coffee, their laughter mixing with the clatter of coins and the rustle of shopping bags. Keanu, a local legend known for his quiet kindness and effortless cool, strolled through the town square. His black leather jacket caught the sunlight, and his dark sunglasses gave him a movie star vibe, though everyone in Willow Creek knew he was just a regular guy with a heart as big as the oak trees shading the old men arguing over chess. His long hair swayed with each step, and he offered friendly nods to familiar faces. The baker stacking warm sourdough loaves, the barber sweeping his porch, and Mrs. Jenkins, who sold homemade jams with a wink and a smile. But today, a strange tension hung in the air, like the hush before a storm. Keanu's sharp instincts, honed from years of quietly observing the world, caught it instantly. His eyes scanned the bustling market, where colorful stalls brimmed with apples, flowers, and trinkets. Near the center, at Mrs. Carter's fruit stand, he spotted the source of the unease. 3 men in what looked like police uniforms loomed over Mrs. Carter, an elderly woman whose warm smile and juicy oranges were a town treasure. Her stand was a cornerstone of Willow Creek, where kids grabbed free apple slices and adults lingered to share gossip over baskets of strawberries. Now her face was pale with fear, her hands clutching her faded apron as the men barked at her. "You owe us $50, lady," the leader growled, his voice slicing through the market's hum. He was burly, with a fake mustache that seemed ready to peel off any second. His badge gleamed unnaturally, like a cheap toy from a dollar store. "You're breaking city rules. Pay up, or we shut this stand down for good." Mrs. Carter's voice trembled, but she stood her ground. "I've run this stand for 20 years without breaking a single rule. Why do I have to pay you?" The second man, tall and lanky with a crooked smirk, leaned in closer, his fake badge glinting in the sun. "Rules change, Grandma. Want to keep selling your fruit? Hand over the cash, or we'll make sure you're out of business." The third man, skinny and twitchy, kept glancing around nervously, as if expecting someone to catch them in the act. Keanu's heart pounded. He'd met plenty of real cops in Willow Creek. Good ones, like his friend Officer Jenny, who always helped with a smile and a kind word. These guys were nothing like her. Their uniforms were sloppy, with loose stitching and cheap fabric that bunched at the shoulders. Their badges looked like costume props, and their behavior was all wrong. Real police didn't bully old ladies for money in broad daylight. Keanu's mind clicked. These guys are fakes, scamming innocent people. Keanu wasn't one for violence. He believed in using his wits, staying calm, and finding clever ways to solve problems. Leaning against a lamppost, he took a deep breath and thought, "I need to stop these crooks without anyone getting hurt. But first, I need proof." He decided to watch them closely, gather evidence, and make sure the real police could take them down. Slipping behind a stack of pine-scented wooden crates near Mrs. Carter's stand, Keanu crouched low, hidden from view. The crates gave him a perfect vantage point, and he could hear every word the fake cops said. He pulled out his phone, opened the camera app, and started recording, zooming in to capture their faces clearly. The leader was still yelling at Mrs. Carter, his fake mustache twitching as he spoke. "You think you can ignore the law?" he snapped. "We're the law around here. Pay up, or we'll take your whole stand apart and haul you to jail." Mrs. Carter's eyes filled with tears, but she didn't back down. "I don't have $50 to give you," she said firmly. "I barely make enough to buy groceries and pay my rent." Keanu noticed the skinny guy's badge had a glaring mistake. It read Willow Creek instead of Willow Creek. Amateurs, he thought, steadying his phone to keep the video clear. The fake cops didn't stop with Mrs. Carter. They moved down the market, targeting Sam, a young guy who ran a hot dog cart. Sam was new in town, saving up for college, and his cart was a hit with workers grabbing lunch and kids begging for extra ketchup. The fake cops surrounded him, their voices sharp and threatening. "Hey, hot dog kid," the tall one said, smirking. "You're operating without a permit. That's a $75 fine unless you pay us now to fix it." Sam's face paled, his hands fumbling in his apron. "A permit? I got all my papers from City Hall last month." He pulled out a folded document, but the leader snatched it, glanced at it, and tore it in half with a dramatic rip. "Oops," the leader said, laughing cruelly. "Looks like you don't have it anymore. Pay up, or we'll shut you down." Keanu's jaw tightened as he recorded the scene. Sam, looking defeated, handed over a wad of crumpled bills from his tip jar. The fake cops stuffed the money in their pockets, chuckling like they'd just pulled off the easiest scam in the world. Keanu's video now had solid evidence, clear shots of their faces, their fake badges, and their bullying tactics. But he needed to act fast before they moved on to another victim. Scanning the market, Keanu spotted a group of kids playing near a stone fountain, kicking a worn soccer ball. An idea sparked. He slipped out from behind the crates and approached the kids, crouching to their level to avoid drawing attention. The leader of the group, a spunky girl named Mia with pigtails and a mischievous grin, spotted him and waved. "Hey, Keanu," Mia said. "Want to kick the ball with us?" "Not right now, Mia," Keanu said, smiling. "I need your help with something important. See those guys in the fake cop uniforms?" He pointed subtly toward the trio, who were now hassling Ms. Lopez, the flower vendor. "They're tricking people, taking their money. I need you and your friends to kick your ball near them and make a big fuss like you're arguing over it. Keep them busy for a bit." Mia's eyes lit up with excitement. "A prank on bad guys? We're in." She turned to her friends, Tommy, a freckled boy with boundless energy, and Lila, a quiet girl who was surprisingly good at causing a scene when needed. "Let's do this." "Thanks, guys," Keanu said, giving them a thumbs up. "Just keep it loud and don't let them leave." As the kids ran off, Keanu pulled out his phone again and texted Officer Jenny, his friend at the Willow Creek police station. "Fake cops at the market. Shaking down shopkeepers. Got video proof. Come quick." He attached the video and hit send, knowing Jenny would act fast. She was tough but fair, always ready to protect Willow Creek from troublemakers. Keanu had met her years ago when he helped her find a lost dog, and they'd been friends ever since. While waiting for Jenny, Keanu watched the kids put his plan into action with perfect chaos. Mia accidentally kicked the soccer ball hard, sending it rolling right into the fake cop's path. It smacked the skinny one's leg, and he stumbled, cursing under his breath. "Hey, that's our ball," Mia shouted, running up with Tommy and Lila. "Give it back." The leader kicked the ball away, annoyed. "Get lost, kids. We're busy." "That's not fair," Tommy yelled, stomping his foot. "It's my turn to kick it." "No, it's mine," Lila chimed in, crossing her arms and pouting. The kids surrounded the fake cops, arguing loudly about whose turn it was. Shoppers stopped to watch, and the fake cops started to look nervous, their eyes darting around as if they sensed trouble coming. Keanu used the distraction to slip over to Mrs. Carter's stand. He leaned in and whispered, "Mrs. C, those guys aren't real cops. I've called Officer Jenny, and she's on her way with backup. Can you keep them talking if they come back? Ask for their badges or some kind of proof." Mrs. Carter's eyes widened, but a spark of determination replaced her fear. "Fake cops? Oh, I'll give them a piece of my mind." "Thank you, Keanu." "Just stall them," Keanu said with a small smile. "You've got this." Mrs. Carter nodded and straightened her apron. When the fake cops, frustrated by the kids, returned to her stand, she was ready. "Excuse me," she called out, her voice stronger now. "You said I broke city rules, but I want to see your badges again. And I want a written list of these so-called rules." The fake cops froze, caught off guard. The leader forced a smile, but it looked more like a grimace. "We showed you already, lady. Don't make this harder than it needs to be. I'm not paying a cent until you prove you're real officers," Mrs. Carter said, crossing her arms. The crowd murmured, and Keanu saw a few people pull out their phones, recording the scene. Perfect, more evidence. Keanu moved to Sam's hot dog cart, staying low to avoid attention. "Sam," he whispered, "those guys are fakes. I've got the real police coming. If they bother you again, ask them questions. Anything to keep them here." Sam's face lit up with relief. "I knew something was wrong. Thanks, Keanu. I was so scared I'd lose my cart." "Just keep cool," Keanu said. "We're almost there." Next, Keanu approached Ms. Lopez's flower stand, where vibrant roses and daisies filled the air with a sweet scent. Ms. Lopez was a kind woman who always pinned a free daisy to Keanu's jacket when he passed by. He whispered to her, "Those cops are fake. Real ones are coming. If they hassle you, ask for their paperwork or badge numbers. Stall them." Ms. Lopez nodded, her face serious but determined. "I've been through worse. I'll handle it." Sure enough, the fake cops approached her next. "You're selling flowers without a license," the tall one said, his smirk returning. "That's a $60 fine unless you pay us now." Ms. Lopez put her hands on her hips, her eyes narrowing. "A license? I've been here 10 years, and no one's ever said that. Show me your paperwork, and I want your badge numbers. The fake cops hesitated, clearly unprepared for resistance. The skinny one stammered, We don't need to show you anything. Just pay. Keanu, watching from a nearby bench, saw his chance to add more pressure. He grabbed a broom from a shopkeeper sweeping his storefront and pretended to clean the sidewalk near the fake cops. As he got close to the leader, he accidentally swung the broom too wide, knocking the man's hat off. The hat hit the ground, revealing a cheap plastic badge with a sticker peeling at the edges. Whoa, sorry, dude, Keanu said, acting innocent. Didn't see you there. Just keeping the street clean. The leader snatched his hat back, glaring. Watch it, man, he muttered, but Keanu saw the panic in his eyes. The crowd was growing, whispering about the fake-looking badge, and the fake cops were starting to sweat. Keanu gave Mia a subtle nod, and she ramped up the chaos, accidentally kicking the ball into the skinny fake cop again. Stop stealing our ball, she shouted, drawing even more attention. Just then, Keanu spotted Officer Jenny and two other real officers, Officers Patel and Rivera, striding toward the market. Their real badges glinted properly in the sun, and their crisp uniforms stood in stark contrast to the fake cops' sloppy outfits. Keanu's heart lifted, but he knew the fake cops might run if they saw Jenny coming. He needed one final move to keep them in place. Hey, officers, Keanu called out, still holding the broom. I heard there's a big sale at the bakery down the street. Free donuts for cops today. The fake cops looked confused, unsure how to respond. We're busy, the leader snapped, but his voice wavered. Oh, come on, Keanu said, grinning. Who doesn't love free donuts? You guys look like you could use a break. The crowd chuckled, and the fake cops shifted uncomfortably, realizing they were losing control of the situation. Before they could make a move, Officer Jenny's voice cut through the noise. You three, step away from the shopkeepers and show me your badges. Now! The fake cops spun around, their faces paling. The leader tried to play it cool. We're just doing our job, officer, he said, holding up his fake badge with a shaky hand. Jenny's eyes narrowed as she examined it. That's not a Willow Creek badge, she said sharply. She held up her phone, showing Keanu's video paused on the leader's face. And I've seen evidence of you extorting these good people. You're under arrest. The skinny fake cop bolted, but Officer Patel was faster, grabbing him by the arm and pulling him back. Officer Rivera blocked the tall one's path, and the leader, seeing no escape, raised his hands in surrender. The crowd erupted in cheers as the real officers handcuffed the fakes and read them their rights. Jenny turned to Keanu, who was leaning casually against a lamppost, the broom still in his hand. Nice work, Keanu, she said, a grin spreading across her face. Your video and quick thinking made this a slam dunk. These guys have been pulling this scam in 3 other towns, but they're done now. Mrs. Carter rushed over, her eyes shining with gratitude. Keanu, you saved my stand. I don't know how to thank you. Keanu smiled softly, pushing his sunglasses up. Just keep selling those oranges, Mrs. C. That's all the thanks I need. Sam and Ms. Lopez joined in, offering Keanu free hot dogs and a bouquet of roses. The kids ran up, high-fiving him for the soccer ball trick. Mia grinned ear to ear. That was the coolest, Keanu. Can we help you catch bad guys again? Keanu chuckled, ruffling her hair. Maybe next time, Mia. But let's hope there's no next time. The next day, the market was alive with chatter about Keanu's heroics. The local newspaper ran a front-page story with the headline, Local Hero Stops Fake Cops with Smarts, Not Fists. Shopkeepers showered Keanu with gifts, apples from Mrs. Carter, a hot dog with extra mustard from Sam, a whole bouquet of daisies from Ms. Lopez. Even the baker, Mr. Thompson, handed him a warm loaf of sourdough, saying, No free donuts, but this is better. Keanu didn't love the attention, but he was glad the town was safe. As he walked through Willow Creek, munching on an apple, he kept his eyes open, ready to help anyone in need. He didn't need a badge or a uniform to be a hero, just a sharp mind and a good heart. The following week, the town held a small celebration at the market to thank Keanu and the real police. Mrs. Carter baked her famous apple pie, Sam grilled hot dogs for everyone, and Ms. Lopez decorated the square with flowers. Mia and her friends performed a skit about the great fake cop caper, with Tommy playing a comically bad fake cop, complete with a paper badge. The crowd roared with laughter, and Keanu clapped along, his sunglasses hiding a proud smile. Officer Jenny pulled him aside during the event. You know, Keanu, you'd make a great detective, she said. Ever think about joining the force? Keanu shook his head, his smile easy. Nah, Jenny. I'm good just being me. Helping out here and there, keeping things chill. Jenny laughed. Fair enough. But Willow Creek's lucky to have you. As the sun set over the market, painting the sky in shades of orange and pink, Keanu leaned against the fountain, watching the town come together. Kids played, vendors chatted, and the air felt lighter than it had in days. He took a deep breath, feeling the warmth of the community he'd helped protect. Willow Creek was his home, and he'd always be there, ready to step in with a clever plan and a kind heart whenever trouble came knocking. Days later, Keanu met Jenny for coffee at the town's cozy diner, where the jukebox played old rock tunes. She filled him in on the fake cops' bigger scam. Your video was a game changer, she said, stirring her coffee. Those guys were part of a ring hitting small towns across the state. They'd pose as cops, scare vendors into paying, then vanish before anyone caught on. Thanks to you, we traced their fake IDs to a guy in the next county. He's in custody now, and the whole operation's shut down. Keanu sipped his coffee, nodding. Glad they're off the streets. Did the shopkeepers get their money back? We're working on it, Jenny said. Mrs. Carter, Sam, and Ms. Lopez will get some restitution. Your video made it easy to prove their case. Keanu smiled. Good. They worked too hard to lose out like that. The story of Keanu's heroics spread beyond Willow Creek. Nearby towns sent thank you notes, calling him a hero for exposing the scam. A local TV station even came to interview him, but Keanu waved them off, saying, Talk to Mrs. Carter or Sam. They're the real heart of this town. The reporter ended up doing a piece on the market's resilience, featuring the vendors' stories and giving credit to a mysterious local who prefers to stay out of the spotlight. Inspired by Keanu's actions, the community grew stronger. Mrs. Carter, Sam, and Ms. Lopez started a fund to help vendors hit by scams, pooling small donations from their daily sales. Keanu quietly slipped some of his own cash into the fund, not wanting any fuss. He also began stopping by the market more often, not just to keep an eye out but to lend a hand, stacking apples for Mrs. Carter, flipping hot dogs for Sam, or arranging flowers for Ms. Lopez. The vendors teased him, calling him the market's guardian. But Keanu just laughed, pinning a fresh daisy to his jacket. One afternoon, Mia's teacher invited Keanu to speak at the school. The kids sat cross-legged on the gym floor, eyes wide as he told them about the fake cops. He kept it simple. Look out for each other. If something feels wrong, speak up. You don't need to fight, you just need to be smart and kind. Mia raised her hand. Keanu, how'd you know those cops were fake? He grinned. They didn't act like real cops. Real ones help people, not scare them. Plus, their badges were terrible. One said Willow Creek with no E. The kids laughed and Mia beamed. After the talk, she ran up, kicking her soccer ball. Teach me to be a hero like you. Keanu knelt down. You're already a hero, Mia. You and your friends kept those fakes distracted. Just keep being kind and using your head. The market became a symbol of Willow Creek's spirit. Vendors started a market watch group, taking turns keeping an eye out for trouble. Keanu joined in, not as a leader but as one of the team, sharing tips on spotting scams, like checking for misspelled badges or asking for official IDs. The group even made a sign for the market. Willow Creek stands strong. Together we thrive. Months later, Keanu was walking through the market when Mrs. Carter called him over. Keanu, we've got something for you. She handed him a small wooden plaque, carved with the words Willow Creek's Guardian and signed by the vendors. Sam, Ms. Lopez, and even Mia were there, grinning. You didn't have to do this, Keanu said, rubbing the back of his neck. We wanted to, Ms. Lopez said. You showed us we can stand up to bullies without fighting. Keanu smiled, tucking the plaque under his arm. Just doing what's right. As he walked through Willow Creek, munching an apple, Keanu kept his eyes open, ready to help. The town was stronger now, bound by a shared sense of pride and vigilance. Kids like Mia learned to speak up, vendors like Mrs. Carter stood taller, and the market thrived as a beacon of community. Keanu didn't need fame or a badge, just a sharp mind, a kind heart, and a knack for doing right. And in Willow Creek, that was more than enough to make him a hero.